By law, the councilmen and commissioners may retire behind closed doors to discuss legal matters and certain other matters specified by state law with their attorney, in this case, City Attorney Alex Bickley. But some members of the press feel that the City Council in particular has been doing this a little too often. This afternoon, when council members and commissioners retired behind closed doors to discuss the controversial Dallas County Community Action Agency, they spent more than an hour while reporters and spectators cooled their heels in an auditorium downstairs here at the library. When they did return, apparently they were so close to the borderline on what they could or could not discuss in private that Councilman Wes Wise felt compelled to complain to the press.
The one today, as it started, was definitely not what it should have been, and I stopped it immediately. I was very conscious of this because I had just read some of the things you all have written and some of the things that you all have heard, some of the things you've said. I was very conscious of it today. Now, I hope I was not more conscious of it today and therefore took this action, and that, say, 10 days ago we were in a meeting where I should have taken action but was not as conscious of it. You see what I mean? I don't think that's happened, though. There have been other occasions where I've thought to myself, now wait a minute, is this really legal land acquisition or personnel? And I've even walked over to Alex and questioned him, and he has satisfied me that it was.
Johnson and Sterrett agreed that something probably would be done about the DCCAC, but they did not agree on what, or at least did not say what, despite close questioning on the part of the press. Judge Sterrett did, in fact, say that the DCCAC would be looked into, but neither body has appointed a committee to look into it, nor do they have any idea when they will, nor did anyone say if any action might be taken. However, two who complained about this, Commissioner Mel Price and Councilman Jesse Price, told me that, for the moment at least, they were satisfied with the action. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News.
The Miss Dallas pageant will ask Lubbock, Gatesville, Nacogdoches, and Gladewater to substantiate the allegations that they've made against the Miss Texas pageant, or drop the whole thing. We've gone far enough in this, and so far we haven't received any substantial evidence one way or the other. Dallas does want to get into the pageant. It's getting late now. The contest is in April, and we just don't have the time to spend spinning our wheels. And I can assure you that if there is allegations that are proven, if these suspicions are founded, we will be one of the first to become involved in seeing what we can do to rectify them. We're not going to sit back and be a part of something that is wrong.
Have you had difficulties already in trying to get your pageant underway? I mean, is there confusion?
Yes, there's confusion throughout. All the allegations and the counter-allegations and charges and so forth being thrown back and forth. You know, it has a profound effect on the girls. They want to know if the contest is either if it's legitimate or is it just a farce? Has someone already been chosen to win? And this is what we want to get down to.
We have been informed that the wage rate of Dallas County has been applied to this job, although it's in Tarrant County. And we've also been informed that none of the wages that are presently being paid on the airport at the present time were taken into consideration when this survey was made.
Is your committee attempting to gain the highest wage for a certain classification at a given county? In other words, are you trying to get the most money depending on where you work?
No, not necessarily so. We're trying to obtain the true prevailing wage that's been paid in the industry at the present time, the wage and the working conditions.
You mentioned in your news release
the workmen are receiving in this locality.
You mentioned in your news release that, as you put it, somebody stabbed us in the back. Would you elaborate?
Yes. I think the first one that did this was the city attorney of Dallas, Texas. I know that it's a fact that he has coerced and threatened the contractor on the job at the present time for his cooperating with the unions and signing contracts with the unions.
Well, I think there's been a lot of misunderstanding as to the $1,600.
It is certainly true that the $1,600 as proposed as a minimum cash grant standard of assistance nationally for a family of 4, and it would be higher for larger families, is the national base on which it's felt that we can afford with our resources at this point in time. However, on top of that is an expanded food stamp program that will bring, for a family of 4, the amount of money nationally annually up from $1,600 to $2,350. No one is suggesting that $1,600 or the $2,350 is fully adequate for the minimum needs of a family of 4. But what we are saying is that this is the first time there's been a significant effort to set a national standard. And there are many states where their present public assistance programs not only preclude the working poor that I referred to earlier, but have a level of benefit payment substantially below the $2,350, indeed below the $1,600.
A battle between the establishment and anti-establishment is shaping up at a convention this week in Dallas. Representing the establishment is the American Public Welfare Association. The opponents are several welfare rights organizations. While waiting for the first session to get underway, I talked to John Montgomery, Assistant Secretary of HEW, who says the new proposal now in Congress will have a new design.
For the first time, the Congress is being asked to include the working poor. That up to this time, under the public welfare programs of our country, have been specifically precluded by federal law from being eligible for supplemental public assistance.
Do you find that this will be able to, that with this program, the fathers will be able to stay at home and try and maintain the family, whereas before they were drifting apart?
Well, certainly the thrust of President Nixon's proposals to the Congress are to put emphasis upon keeping the family together, and thus, where in all but 25 states, the basis of eligibility for public assistance is many times where a man deserts the home, deserts the family. The emphasis here in the family assistance plan as proposed is to put the key point of keeping the family together, supplementing the working poor if their skills, job opportunities are so minimum they're not able to meet a minimum standard of income, and then to put further emphasis in the area of training and employment for those that should be and can be working.